Hello, everybody. I'm a practicing therapist and I work with a lot of individuals with attachment wounds. Today, I wanted to go over a concept about avoidance and them pulling away. So, as many of you know, avoidant individuals, they do pull away when they're feeling lots of different things, intense emotions, bad emotions, being criticized, maybe they're just having a hard day at work. Avoidants pull away a lot. However, there's a type of pulling away that usually needs to be corrected or adjusted in order for the relationship to continuously last and be healthy. So today, I wanted to go over what kind of pulling away that is and techniques for you as the partner and the avoidant, both of you together as a team, what to do so that an avoidant eventually never pulls away again, okay? All examples I'm going to give are fictional. I also am never telling you to stay with an individual who mistreats you, or if they don't change at all, I'm not telling you to do all the legwork, okay? So the first one that helps avoidants to never pull away a certain way. So when they pull away and shut down without communicating what's going on, that's the pulling away that's not necessarily healthy. And I can expand more about pulling away in general in more videos. But I just wanted to give you a little bit of a template, and then maybe I'll make more videos to expand upon all of these. But just to leave some thoughts in your mind, okay? The first one is to reassure your partner. I know, avoidance, you're going to say, I don't need reassurance. Not necessarily. Let me explain. And you as the avoidant, you got to explain what you're looking for as well. You have to talk to your partner because they don't know. They can't read your mind. So the partner of the avoidant, you can say, I'm okay with accommodating you. Okay? I'm okay with accommodating you. Sometimes I get upset. Sometimes I will cry. But it doesn't mean I'm not okay with who you are. I just get frustrated. But as long as you're willing to change, as long as you show some adjustments, which you are, you do show some adjustments, I'm okay. Just sometimes I need a moment, right? That's typically how you can start. Now, usually the avoidant will open up and say, okay, but I don't like when you cry. And that's the reason they won't say this part, but usually they'll just say, I don't like when you cry. But that's the reason why they pull away, because you had an emotional reaction. But it's important for you to tell them, it's okay if I have an emotional reaction. I deserve to. I'm not upset. I'm not going to leave you. And I believe that you're changing. I sometimes get frustrated, just like it's normal in relationships. And they will say, I don't like when you cry. And they're trying to say, it hurts me. And sometimes they'll say, I don't like when you cry. I don't know if I can handle this relationship. Maybe we should break up. That's not healthy, right? And it's very important to mention, I understand that and I respect that. I'm happy that you care about me. But that doesn't mean I'm not okay with accommodating to you. I want to accommodate to you and I want to change. And usually that helps them open up and say, I will accommodate to you too. This is a very common example. And let me explain why I started with that. Underneath all of this, you reassured something. You reassured you're not going to leave. You reassured them that your emotional reactions do not mean you don't care. And you also reassured them that I know that you have attachment issues. You didn't say it directly, but you mentioned I'm okay with accommodating to you, which means, they are a little difficult. I'm okay with accommodating to you, right? I'm okay. This is my choice. So you trying to break up with me, you're taking my choice away, right? When you pull away, you're taking my choice away. I choose to do this. So you can't control that outcome, right? You can leave if you want, but you can't leave because you're afraid to make me cry. You can, but that's not healthy. That's not fair. By you reassuring them, I'm okay with accommodating. A lot of times they will say, okay, I want to accommodate to you too because I feel so good. So typically avoidants, they will pull away when you have an emotional reaction. Sometimes they'll even try and break up with you because it hurts them to see you get hurt. It's not healthy and they don't know what to do. They don't want to feel like a failure. So they run away, okay? So another example could be, and this is a common one, this is a trigger. Like a lot of times avoidants, when they're getting busy, they know that they're pulling away and they feel embarrassed about that because they know it's a wound that they have. So they they might even pull away even more because they're embarrassed that they need a lot of time to regulate. And so typically what happens is if their partner notices that they're busy, they may react really poorly to that. So let's say you say, have you had a busy week? Or I notice that you're not answering your messages as much. I'm assuming you're busy. They're going to get mad about that. And typically they're going to be like, I'm not, this is just the way I am. I need space. If you don't like it, then you can leave, whatever. So now they're pulling away. They're doing the pulling away. What you can say instead, because that's a trigger of theirs. Sorry if this video is all over the place, by the way. I'm literally in between patients and this was on my mind. So sorry about that, but I hope it makes sense. You can mention, have you had a busy week? So you're asking them just as you typically do. I'm not asking because I feel like you haven't been giving me attention. You give me plenty of attention. I'm just checking on you. If you really feel like they give you attention and you just want to check on them, reassure them. I'm not saying that I'm mad at you. I'm just checking on you. You don't need to get reactive. You don't need to get upset. And usually that helps them to realize, okay, I don't need to pull away because they get me. Okay, so I am doing the right thing. I am a good boyfriend. I am a good girlfriend. They said I'm giving them plenty of attention. Okay, good. So if I'm a little busy, they're understanding. I don't need to be reactive. I don't need to say we need to break up. That's usually all they need, okay? Then they usually can say, yes, it has been busy. That's it. Instead of reacting poorly, getting angry. Because a lot of avoidants, they pull away when you ask questions that they feel like you're trying to control their time. I know that sounds really silly, but that's usually what is happening. They feel like you're trying to change them or you're asking for something that maybe they feel like they can't do. And so instead of you maybe starting to, in their mind, get mad at them or tell them that they're not good enough, that's what they think is going to happen when you ask, have you had a busy week? They start spiking at you, pulling away, telling you maybe this relationship isn't going to work. And in your mind, you're like, what happened? All I asked was a question. It's that reassurance portion that once you add it in there, they will feel more willing to realize, okay, they're not mad at me. This is okay. And so you as an avoidant individual, you have to realize that you struggle with trusting people. You have to realize your partner, when they ask a question, they're not trying to manipulate you. They're just asking. They can't ask you. They should be able to. It's not healthy that you react that way. So it's really important that while your partner is reassuring you, that you also make the steps going forward to realize, I can't keep reacting like that. That's not fair to my partner. My partner is an honest and genuine person. If your partner is, and me as the avoidant, maybe I should make some effort to be more forthcoming with how I feel and be more vulnerable and take some of this reassurance in so that I can trust my partner, okay? So that's what I want you to do. So the first one is reassurance. The second one is, this will help avoidance not pull away. If you as the avoidant open up to what you need, even if you need a longer time getting married or whatever, and you as the anxious partner or whoever you are, try to be open about the things the avoidant needs and how their way is, right? If they need a little longer to think about marriage, they need a little longer. If you are okay with that, if you think that it's all right, really, because if you're not, you can leave. But if you genuinely feel like you can be a little bit more open about their timelines, this will also help them to not pull away. These things, I promise, most of the time, not all the time, it will really stop them from pulling away almost entirely, because these are the reasons they pull away. And I can make a separate video on that as well. So that one's important. Being a little open to their timelines. And the last one is when you guys fight, when you guys disagree, do not fight for control, both of you, right? No threatening to break up. If you want to break up, you can, but there's no threats, right? Anxious, preoccupied do that a lot. If you don't do this, I'm going to leave. I'm going to block you. Avoidant individuals, what they do is they kind of shut down. But they usually don't do it for control. But if you are, don't do that. It's not healthy. No ultimatums. I don't think ultimatums are healthy. It's up to you guys. But I perceive that as fighting for control. And then, trying to do no contact. Sometimes I think that's fighting for control, depending on how you're doing it. Matching energy, I think, is another form of fighting for control. And then frequent demands continuously might be a sign that you're fighting for control as well. So why do I think it's important to not fight for control? You can have disagreements, But you don't want to have a control imbalance. Both of you guys are equal. Just because you're not sure what's happening next does not mean that you should try and create control, because what happens is when you try to control the situation, the avoidant individual will pull away because they don't feel safe. They can feel that you're trying to control them. They don't know how to word it, but they can feel it. And that's often why they shut down. So I just want to wrap it up here. Just a quick video. Apologize if it was all over the place, and I will make a longer one with much more detail. But I just wanted to give you guys this piece of information. Go ahead, subscribe, like, and I'll see you in the next one.